Welcome back, Slotcar family, on another video on Slotcar Dude. Today I'm gonna cover two topics. First of all, well, maybe three, but today we gonna have a look at, first of all, where have I been? Why has there been no content being released on my social media channels, YouTube, TikTok, Insta, Facebook, whatever? Well, the reason is I was on vacation. It was more or less well-planned escape prior to my very busy season at work. That was first of all. And that took about 2.5 weeks. Yes, we, my wife and I, chose destinations far away. And as we are in the middle of Europe, getting somewhere where it's a lot warmer and nicer at this time of the year. Which brings me to topic number 2. Yes, directly connected to my vacation, are slot cars back? Now, Anders asked this question about 2 or 3 weeks ago in what was meant to be our Friday night. Sorry, as I was on vacation, I just couldn't catch up with him and you guys. So are slot cars back? And I do have a very definite answer now to that. From my point of view, yes, absolutely. Because what brings me to my third topic of this video is I found a slot car track where I didn't expect to find one. It was very easy. And all I did was just ask my social media channels, like, show me a slot car channel in the Caribbean. And it came up with one, which is the St. Martin model car raceway. So I contacted them and I became a very quick, very fast and very nice reply from Reggie, you're my man, saying, yeah, just let me know the date and I'll manage it for you to be open. So slot cars are back. They are back in a different way than they used to be in the 60s or 70s. I don't think that it is like raceways, like commercial raceways that you go to, you rent for an hour, like a lane on a car. It's more private tracks or maybe a club track that you will find nowadays. And those tracks are widely spread. Plus, the owners or the guys running it are most of the time on social media channels nowadays. So it's very easy, or it should be very easy to find them, as those tracks can be found quite easily. And again, which brings me back to a small island in the Caribbean called St. Martin. Yes, I was on a cruise. If you want to know, I did island hopping. And one of the islands was St. Martin. So I made an appointment with Reggie, who very kindly opened up the track and the club just for me. So I had all the space and the room just for me. And a very, very nice conversation started with Reggie. As I'm not really into wing cars, you know, or anything alike. I'm more like a scale car racer, driver, but still the topics are completely the same, no matter what scale, no matter what layout. Plus, it was the first time on a Blue King for me. And again, the conversation that came up with Reggie was just so nice, and we found out so many similarities running a club, running a track, that I could have stayed for days, you know. But let's check it out, what it looks like if you have a racetrack on a Caribbean island right next to the beach. And I mean right next to the beach. This venue is separated from the beach by a boardwalk. No kidding, no fussing. So this is, to me, one of the best places to go slot car racing. So whenever you come around St. Martin, yes, drop a line to Reggie on Facebook. You can find them on Facebook, for example, and I'm sure he will, if it's possible, open up the track for you and give you a very good intro into wing cars like he did with me. Again, very, very highly appreciated. Thank you very much, Reggie, again, for taking your time. But enough talking. Let's hit the track and see what it looks like.
I'm the dude. So that's what you call me, you know? That or his dudeness or duder or, you know, El Duderino.
Slotcar family, this is how I found the racetrack and how I got in contact with Reggie. I found this page on Facebook. Just a little hint for you guys out there, how to find it, where to find it, what it is called. And after doing the contact on Messenger, we agreed on a time and a day, of course, when my cruise ship would dock to St. Martin. It is literally a 15 minutes walk from where the cruise ship dock onto St. Martin. You can actually see the cruise ships going out of the venue from this raceway. Now, this was my first time on a Blue King track, I have to admit. I'm giving you a little 360 of the location there. This is the track. There is a little shop corner right at the entrance. Then there is, of course, the pits where you can place your pit box, do work on your cars, and of course, a huge one-to-one Blue King track, which is just an amazing track. It was my first time again, and I just loved it, to be honest. And I think it would also be a blast to drive scale cars 1 to 24, like scale auto chassis with foam tires on that track. But that's a different story. Reggie is in this hobby since the 60s, 70s, if I recall that right. He started out in New York, did a lot of races, nationals and also internationals, still goes to Europe once a year minimum, if I recall that right. Reggie, forgive me if I'm wrong on that, but that's what I took with me. And he's got a lot of trophies, which means, yes, he was successful. And he also held a world's race on his racetrack. And I think this was 97. Don't nail me down on it. Forgive me, Reggie, if I recall that wrong. Nevertheless, this was what was done by one of the racers. He carved out of a wooden plank this beautiful picture, and all the participants signed on it. So let's see the very, old-fashioned approach of me doing a Blue King track with one of the cars supplied by Reggie. Thank you so much for that again. I think it was one of his rental cars, but whatever. I was just happy, as a little child. This was early Christmas for me, doing my first laps on a Blue King with someone like Reggie next to me, and discussing slot car topics up and down that come along with setting up a track, running a club. No matter where in the world, the topics are exactly the same. And so I was more than happy to find a slot car track in the Caribbean, to be honest. And again, as the cruise ship docks are so close to the track, I'm sure Reggie will get a lot of visitors as soon as the word is spread, because there is like up to 4 or 6 cruise ships that dock there at the same time. So I'm sure the word will spread and he will get a lot of visitors coming off those ships. But back to the track, It was a blast to drive. I tried not to blame myself. I tried to stay on track as good as possible, not to deslot, and just find all the spots, the braking spots, as good as I could. Um, and it was a lot of fun. It's a complete different driving style to what I'm used to. You don't brake full like we do coming into corners because the corners are so wide on this track. So you just got to find that weak spot, that blind spot for braking and not even full braking. But again, a lot of fun. Thank you so much again for taking the time. And thank you so much for setting up such a beautiful track uh, in the Caribbean and supporting the hobby the way Reggie does. He goes out to sports clubs like his basketball playground that he still does, and tries to get people in. And that's, I mean, what else can you ask for trying to get new people into this hobby? And I discussed with Reggie as well, are Slotcars back? And we both agreed on yes, they are back in a different way than they used to be in the 60s or 70s. There are no more or hardly any of those commercial tracks out there. There are a lot of private tracks in basements, extra huts, garden huts, whatever, and clubs coming up for interested people to join in and do racing there or do a little club racing there. In the corner of the racetrack where he stores all his race plaques. If you like this kind of content, please leave a like. If you want to get informed when I issue new videos, feel free to subscribe to my channel. It's free of charge. Leave comments, share, tell others. Just feel free to stroll around in my channel, ask questions, all slot car related. You ask them, you get an answer. No problem. And of course, what cannot be missed is his small shop corner where he sells all kinds of spares for the classes they run. Wing cars, wing car bodies, chassis, tires, whatever you need. Guides, of course, he's got it there, including some merch. And of course, I had to support the track, Reggie, and the club. So I got myself one of his base caps that you saw in the intro already. And just to show you and prove, yes, this track is at the beach. It is located directly at the beach. It's the racetrack, a boardwalk, sand, sea, as you can see. And this is definitely unique. I have not seen this anywhere before. And I guess this is what makes this track absolutely unique. It's Reggie himself, it's the venue, and it's the location. I mean, come on. And space, as you can see, wide open. A lot of space to put the track in and to give space for locals or racers to work on their cars, do a little testing. And after they're done, they can just walk out of this venue to the left or to the right, go to a bar, have a cool beer or whatever, and enjoy the club and the people there. I can highly recommend this club. I can highly recommend St. Martin, of course. This is a one-off venue for sure. And again, I loved that Blue King track. Sorry, guys. As I'm back now, yes, I would have loved to stay longer at the track and, of course, on the island. But hey, that's vacation. Back to the track. They do, of course, spray glue the corners, as with any wing car racing out there. This is normal and works pretty well. I haven't asked him because of humidity, which is pretty high, and keeping the doors open and getting the dust in. But hey, it does work. Otherwise, I think they wouldn't have been able to hold any worlds there. Again, do a 360 tour with me on the venue. This is an awesome place to go. And whenever you can make it, do it. Wing cars, unfortunately, again, not in my area. This would be something definitely to look out for, but not now. And these are a few full scale laps or parts of the lap covered with a 360 camera with tracking. Reggie, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your effort that you're doing for this hobby. Thank you so much for having me that day. Again, if you like what you've seen, don't forget to hit that cowbell, the like, leave some comments, share, and of course, as always with Slotcar Dude, don't forget, there is more to come.